balancing truth, principles, and perspective. This is the Equalizer Podcast.
No masters, no owners, only the collective, the means of the galaxy held by all for all.
If that sounds like paradise, that's the point. Communism was born as a moral dream, a world without greed, without hierarchy, without oppression. A world where everyone gives according to their ability and receives according to their need. But every time humanity has tried to build it, that dream has turned to dust. Today on The Equalizer, we're putting communism on the scales, an ideology that promises heaven on earth, but has only ever delivered hell. Communism envisions a classless, stateless society. No private property, no markets, no money. The means of production, factories, farms, and resources belong to everyone, collectively. The goal is perfect equality. It's an alluring idea. No exploitation, no rich or poor, no injustice. But there's a fatal flaw. To reach that classless paradise, someone has to seize control. And history shows that once power is taken in the name of the people, it's never returned to them. Communism didn't emerge from freedom. It came out of feudalism. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels were children of Prussia, a place where aristocrats ruled, workers starved, and the state ran the economy. They saw inequality and imagined a scientific cure, a revolution that would wipe away ownership and class itself. Their vision, written in the Communist Manifesto in 1848, wasn't about democracy. It was about inevitability, that history itself would end in equality. But Marx's inevitable revolution assumed something impossible, that humans could shed self-interest, ambition, and power. On paper, communism sounds humane. In practice, it's the most dangerous social experiment ever attempted. Let's look at 3 attempts to build that utopia. Soviet Union, 1917. Lenin promised liberation. Stalin delivered terror. Collectivized farms, forced labor camps, and the Holodomor famine killed up to 7 million in Ukraine alone. By the end of Stalin's rule, somewhere between 20 and 40 million people were dead. The dictatorship of the proletariat never withered away. It metastasized into permanent tyranny. Communist China, 1949. Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward was meant to leap into equality. Instead, it starved up to 55 million people. Backyard furnaces melted tools into useless metal. Communes replaced families. And the Cultural Revolution turned children against their parents in the name of ideological purity. By the time China abandoned Marx for markets in the late 1970s, it had proven communism's cruelest paradox. It destroys the very people it claims to serve. Cambodia under the Khmer Rouge, 1975. Pol Pot's Year Zero sought instant utopia. He emptied cities, abolished money, and forced millions into labor camps. Within 4 years, a quarter of the population was dead, starved, executed, or worked to death. No masters, no owners, only the collective, and the killing fields. Communism fails not because its goals are too high, but because its vision of humanity is too low. Marx assumed human nature was entirely shaped by circumstance. Change the system, and you change the soul. But self-interest, ambition, even greed, these aren't bugs in the human code. They're part of what drives progress. Without ownership, people stop creating. Without reward, they stop trying. And without freedom, they stop believing. The irony is tragic. Communism sets out to end exploitation and ends up exploiting everyone equally. John Adams once wrote, "Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people." Communism assumes the opposite, that morality can be manufactured and virtue enforced from above. But when morality becomes law becomes violence. And when the state owns everything, it owns everyone. That's not liberation. That's slavery without the chains.
No masters, no owners, only the collective, the means of the galaxy held by all for all.
It's a beautiful sentiment, and a fatal one. Equality cannot be enforced, it has to be chosen, because without liberty, even the purest intentions lead to tyranny. Next time on The Equalizer, we'll put theocracy on the scales, where the divine right meets human ambition. Till then, I'm Evan Quaich, and may we never mistake utopia for freedom.